financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
It's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Thanks for tuning in to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Leah Hasledge. The First Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding regarding community benefits and inclusion was recently signed by Mayor Frank Jackson and other city officials to help further the education of students in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District.
This amendment to the Community Benefits Agreement moves from the prior amendment, which was about how to get access for people who already have the skills, now to actually training the skills for families to access the construction trades. So my students at Max Hayes, in partnership with the Construction Trades Council, will be actually training to do the work of building Cleveland.
And this is one tool, one of the tools that we have identified that helps us do that, and that's through this pre-apprenticeship program, which Mr. Wondolowski would give you details, that will help our children in pre-apprenticeship at school, then go into apprenticeship to work on jobs and have careers.
Today we amended that to require the payment of prevailing wages on these community benefit agreement projects. That will help us increase the demand for skilled trades workers, thereby being able to put more people into our unions, especially and focused on our adult pre-apprenticeship program at Tri-C and our high school pre-apprenticeship program newly created with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District.
To see the full MOU signing press conference, stay tuned to TV20. Just check our schedule for times. Cleveland tested out their new pothole killer on the city's east side with officials on hand to answer questions regarding how this will benefit our community.
We have a plan. We have a systematic plan. The plan will, when we get all of our crews together, we will release that, understand where we're going, what we're going to do. Right now, the two pothole killers, one pothole killer is here. Next week, we'll have another one on the west side, and then we'll put our crews together, right? Our 8 to 10 crews together. So right now, we are working on a plan on how we go through that, and we will have a plan on how we go through this systematically and get these potholes filled.
4 or 6 crews that we're deploying every day are working at least 2 shifts. And then on the 3rd shift, we're using cold patch. And so we're running a 24-hour operation attacking potholes 6 days a week. When we go to, after the plant's open, we expand the operation, then we're going to go systematically by sectors. There are 292 sectors in the city of Cleveland, 6 districts, and we will go systematically through the city until we have covered all of the pothole issues as it relates to our riding surfaces.
The renovation of Public Square has begun, which means there are changes to your normal commute. As stated on the Cleveland City Hall blog, during this renovation, Ontario Street and Superior Avenue within the square will be closed to all traffic. The surrounding Public Square roadways and Rockwell Avenue will offer access to bus traffic and local vehicular traffic only. Construction is expected to run now through June of 2016. For up-to-date information, traffic reroute maps, and more, visit downtowncleveland.com. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Tim McGinty was joined by other community members to discuss demolitions, stabilizing property values, reducing crime, and spur development in abandoned homes on Cleveland's east side.
We plan on knocking them down. Now, we have focused $2 million, one in a zone right here between Juvenile Court and Cleveland Clinic, between Caramoo House and a New Opportunity Corner. We want to focus on a limited area. So we put in over $1 million in a commitment to the city of Cleveland, our partners, to tear down houses right here. We want to establish abandoned-free zones. This is going to be an abandoned-free zone. We're going to knock these houses down. We're determined to do it with the help of the city of Cleveland, the county, and Fairfax.
I want to also thank the prosecutor. He said a few words that I think need to be restated, and that's growth, opportunity, and hope. And this really does hit all three of those. It really is hope that these residents see when some of these condemned houses come down. It's really an opportunity for us, as the director of CDC talked about, for all the great things that are going on in this neighborhood. And we're going to see growth in our neighborhoods. We're going to see people starting to come back, and we're starting to see that in some of our partner areas, as the prosecutor talked about.
Structures like these contribute to criminal activity in our neighborhoods, and the mayor's focus on public safety and making our neighborhoods safer has been a top priority for him since he took office. So I wanted to take this opportunity on the city's behalf to thank Prosecutor McGinty for proposing this type of a program and providing the resources to the city to be able to focus on demolishing these nuisance structures to make our neighborhoods safe.
We have some pretty simple goals on Cleveland City Council. Eliminate blight and restore value. And I want to thank the prosecutor for making these funds available so we can take this first step towards those goals. Well, we've taken other steps. I shouldn't say the first, but a significant step towards those goals. We have a glut of abandoned houses that need to come down, but the resources just aren't there. The city of Cleveland has spent millions of dollars in the past years to demolish vacant abandoned houses, but the resources are gone. So when the prosecutor made this money available, it's just a fantastic resource, a fantastic idea. And just so everybody understands, Prosecutor McGinty didn't have to use the money in this way. This is a very creative use of funds that could have been directed elsewhere. But in looking at the neighborhoods of the city of Cleveland and the relationship between the neighborhoods and crime and what we deal with on a neighborhood basis and what the prosecutor deals with from trying to fight crime, it was a natural marriage, and it was a creative way, a smart way to use these funds to invest in our neighborhoods.
The Central Neighborhood Clinic at the Care Alliance Health Center recently held its grand opening. Mayor Frank Jackson was joined by Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland and other city leaders to discuss its importance.
Care Alliance has stayed on mission and has taken advantage of the tools it's been given and the tools it has taken in order to make sure that they could fulfill their mission, whether it's for the homeless, whether it's for the uninsured, whether it's for people, again, who would not have access to quality health care, but for their existence. So again, congratulations to everybody, and particularly thank you to Care Alliance.
We're standing here witnessing another example of the true meaning of partnership in the Central community. There have been so many wonderful things that have happened over the past few years, and we have so many things that we have on the drawing board. So it's really exciting to see this one project come to fruition, not just for me, but I know for the residents in this neighborhood. This is a spectacular building, striking in comparison to the rest of the community. But what it really brings in essence is care, health care to the people in this neighborhood who need it and who need it critically.
To see the full grand opening ceremony, stay tuned to TV20. Just check our schedule for times. 7 Cleveland firefighters were recently promoted to their new ranks at a swearing-in ceremony held at Cleveland City Hall. The oath of office was administered by the Honorable Mayor Frank Jackson. Chief of the Cleveland Division of Fire, Patrick Kelly, then spoke about the importance of leadership.
According to the U.S. Army, a definition I like to use, leadership is the process of influencing people, providing purpose, direction, and motivation to others. Providing purpose and direction and motivation. That's a tall order, but I have faith and I trust that you all can do this. Some ways you can do this is by leading by example, being the kind of boss you'd want to work for. Not the do as I say, not as I do kind of leader, but the kind of boss supervisor that gets in there with his troops and that shows them or teaches them how to do something.
To see the full swearing-in ceremony, stay tuned to TV20. Just check our schedule for times. The 31st annual Firematic Flea Market event was held at the Fire Training Academy and brought together vendors from around the country to raise money for those in need while showcasing valuable fire items.
We are at the Firematic Flea Market, and we've got some great vendors from all across the country here, and the proceeds will benefit the Western Reserve Fire Museum and Education Center. This is a great opportunity for everyone to get together, spread the word, share their love of firefighting and fire history. The museum is currently undergoing some construction, so we're going to open up later this year, and we're located at 310 Carnegie Avenue, so right across from Progressive Field, right by the bridge there, and we'll have more updates on our website, which is www.wrfmc.com.
When we return to the weekly news wrap-up, we're going to see what's new in our schools with CMSD TV reporter Shannon Kantner. Stay tuned.
Okay. I'm a mommy. I love kids. I'm responsible, loving, nurturing. Mama's coming, baby!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
Pants. I am folding the pants. The pants are long. Do they go on my head? Do they? Do the pants go on my head? No. They go on.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
There's a place, not so far away. A place where you don't have to keep the volume down. Or clean up your room. A place where you don't have to make time for free time. You don't have to do anything but show up. You'll find all sorts of creatures in this place without have to. The silly you. The proud you. You may even meet the curious you.
You!
There are lots of yous to catch up with. Ask your parents to take you to this not-so-far-away place. Come to the forest, where the other you lives. But first, stop by discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the weekly news wrap-up. You've probably heard of famous cooking competition shows like Top Chef and Iron Chef, but what about Food Fight Revolution? It's unlike any other culinary show out there, and it was produced and filmed right here in Cleveland by students. Our CMSD reporter Shannon Kantner shows us how the Cleveland School for Digital Arts brings education to life.
Do you remember how you learned about the Revolutionary War in high school? Chances are you had to read a book and take a test. Well, students at the Cleveland School for the Digital Arts are filming a cooking show here in Tri-C's Culinary Kitchen. They're behind me right now, using chemistry, math, social studies, and a whole lot more for the ultimate history lesson. Film teacher Jennifer Poland was eating a fish dinner at a restaurant when she got an idea.
I was like, how is this fish cooked? I thought it was raw, but then they told me it was cured. And I was like, that's a chemical process to cook the meat. And I was like, oh, voila, it all came together to connect the Revolutionary War food, have students research the time period.
All of that research led to Food Fight Revolution, a full-scale cooking competition show with students in charge every step of the way.
At the beginning there were 4, now the action is 2.
First, they contacted celebrity chefs and secured food donations from local grocery stores.
We get phone calls, weekly, daily about participating in some events or going on some show or someone coming in to shoot. So to have a student call was the hook.
Then those students traded in pencils for ladles, books for camera equipment.
I get to do something that's fun without doing stuff that's boring and like sitting there reading a book the whole time.
Instead, the freshman was a director for the day, handling a crew of nearly 40 other students, all of them running between 3 different sets. Because what's a cooking show without some heat in the kitchen and a few twists?
Deer, partridge, turkey, and duck were the options.
Foods and ingredients were limited to what was available in the U.S. during the British blockade. Other items could be earned by answering trivia questions written by students about the chemistry behind cooking and history of the war.
I think that everybody is pushing themselves beyond what they normally would push themselves. I hope that it brought history to life.
Not just history, but a wide range of other subjects, including the digital arts. Every student will ultimately edit their own version of the show so they can always remember an already unforgettable experience on the battlefield of food fight revolution.
I feel like I learned a lot. I'm just gonna remember it forever, like something I got to do that I never did, because this is the first time me actually doing something a little bit more professional.
The goal of the school is to provide these kinds of experiences where you really get to enrich the subjects through the digital art and that you can't get it anywhere else.
Giving students a new appetite for learning. What was your favorite part about the day?
Well, after the fact they cooked it, I got to taste it a little bit.
So at the end of the day, this dessert is made with social studies, chemistry, cooking, filming, science, you name it, it's in here. And the results are delicious. Reporting from the Tri-State Culinary School, Shannon Kantner, CMSD TV.
Thanks, Shannon. The Cleveland School for the Digital Arts is new this school year. It's part of CMSD's growing portfolio of educational options designed to provide a fit for every student. CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, Eric Gordon, met with President Barack Obama to discuss efforts to strengthen education in city schools. The meeting gave Mr. Gordon, along with members of the great city schools, a chance to discuss the progress of the Cleveland Plan, the importance of maintaining funding that is critical for our future success, and the importance of continued investment to help all children succeed. When we return to the weekly news wrap-up, we're going to see what's going on in sports with our reporter, Christian Patterson. Stay tuned.
If only they were big enough to take their health into their own hands. But sometimes danger is where you least expect it. That's why they have you to protect them. Lead poisoning is one of the most serious public health issues for children living in pre-1978 housing, and many are never tested. Exposure to lead can damage a young child's brain. Take their health into your hands. Learn the risks. Get kids tested. Call 216-263-5323 to find out if your child is at risk for lead poisoning.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The first time you ride the RTA Healthline to University Circle, you may wonder, what should I do with my bag? Can I put it on the seat next to me? What if someone wants to sit there? Will they just scooch it over? Ask me to move it? Is there a please move your bag signal that I'm unaware of? Maybe my bag is taking someone's regular seat. Maybe I'm taking someone's regular seat. Did I just set off a regular seat chain reaction and now everyone's mad at me? Or is this my regular seat? Yeah, I could get used to this. It's easier than you think, Cleveland. RTA, get ready to ride.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Christian Patterson, and here's a look at what's going on in sports. But before I wrap up what went on in Cleveland sports this past week, I have a Cleveland sports trivia question. In what year did Larry Dolan buy the Cleveland Indians franchise? A, 2000, B, 1999, or C, 2004? Stay tuned because I'll have the answer to the Cleveland sports trivia question at the end of this segment. Playing alongside LeBron James could be a boost to any player's career. There's the winning and more winning, and oh, did I mention he loves to pass the ball? Sometimes it could be easy to be overshadowed by James, but a special player like Kyrie Irving makes it his duty to stand out. Cleveland Cavaliers fans are witnessing something very special right now, and that's basketball greatness happening right here in our city. Not only has Kyrie Irving stepped up in games when LeBron took his rest in January, he's also outshining LeBron as we march into the playoffs. The Cavs all-star guard recently torched the Spurs for a career and franchise high 57 points. This was his second 50-point game of the season, where he led his team to victory over the defending champs in overtime. The Cavaliers are on pace to finish the season with 50-plus wins and the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. This may be the best team the Cavaliers franchise has seen to date. The Cleveland Indians' big offseason addition may be plagued with injury once again. Gavin Floyd has re-injured the stress fracture in his throwing elbow that sidelined him last season. Left-hander TJ House may be the favorite to fill the final spot in the rotation. Indians' top prospect Francisco Lindor is set to hit the minors to begin this season, but it may not be long before he cracks the majors at shortstop. The slick-fielding Lindor has progressed nicely at the plate since being taken with the number 8 pick in the 2011 draft, and he has the tools to be a legitimate star. The Cleveland Browns' 2014 season did not go as planned. Yes, they did win more games, but the team took a bigger loss. Top wide receiver Josh Gordon will be suspended for the entire 2015 season. Tight end Jordan Cameron was not re-signed, and now he's a Miami Dolphin. Outside linebacker Jabal Sheard opted to sign with the New England Patriots. And cornerback Buster Skrine received a huge payday from the New York Jets. 4 years, $25 million, and $13 million guaranteed. Once the team added quarterback Josh McCown, it was just a matter of time before Brian Hoyer decided to move. Hoyer signed a 2-year deal with the Houston Texans worth $10.5 million. If the Browns expect Johnny Manziel to exit rehab and be successful while leading the Browns, they're going to have to put a better team around him. Will the heart-pounding, fast-breaking action of the MAC tournament pass through the city of Cleveland, and the winner punched a ticket for an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament? Let's check out some of the action from the MAC tournament at the Q. Since the year 2000, the Mid-American Conference has held its annual postseason single elimination tournament in Cleveland, Ohio. The MAC has one of the most unusual tournament formats in the country. The top 2 seeds get a bye straight to the semifinal round, while seeds number 3 and 4 get double byes to the quarterfinals. The Central Michigan Chippewas claimed the number 1 seed and a bye into the semifinals with the best record in the MAC of 22-7. The Buffalo Bulls, who earned the number 2 seed, finished the season with a record of 21-9. Well, it just so happened that the number 1 and 2 seed both advanced to the MAC tournament championship. The outcome of their 2 regular season games went in favor of the Central Michigan Chippewas, but the MAC championship was a different story. As is always the case with the MAC, regardless of the sport, this was a fast-paced, fun game. The lead stayed between 6 points on either side for most of the contest. Shots were falling on both ends of the floor, and both teams were playing some tough defense. The automatic bid to the tournament depended on it. At the end of the first half, you could tell this would be a shootout that would come down to the wire. Buffalo came out scorching hot and started to take control in the second half. The Bulls were on fire from three-point range, knocking down 10 of 22 three-pointers on their way to an 89-84 victory. Both teams shot over 49% from the field, but Buffalo was too much for Central Michigan down the stretch. The Buffalo Bulls won their first Mid-American Conference Tournament championship in school history under second-year coach Bobby Hurley. Hurley has transformed the Bulls into perennial MAC contenders, winning the conference's East Division both seasons as head coach.
And we had a stretch this season where people didn't believe in us and thought we weren't going to make it, but we rallied, and I'm so proud of my guys. We're the first team to ever do this, and nobody can take this away from us. I'm just so happy right now. It's a blessing, man. Like I say, we're the first guys to ever do this. I'm the first person in my family to ever do anything like this, so we're confident. We're just thankful for the opportunity.
Going to the big dance means a lot to us, not only us, the people around us, this community, Buffalo community. Win 2 more games, get to the Sweet 16 in March Madness.
And before we end this segment, as promised, I have the answer to today's Cleveland sports trivia question. The answer is A, 2000. A lifelong baseball fan, Larry Dolan bought the Cleveland Indians in February 2000 and proceeded to make his mark not only in his hometown, but within baseball. Well, that's all I have for your TV20 Weekly Sports Wrap-Up. When we return from break, we'll have more with Leah.
The first time you're waiting to ride RTA downtown, you may wonder, am I at the right stop? Is the bus coming? What time is it? Is this an okay place to wait? Should I ask that guy? This is heading downtown, right? I should check my schedule. I should recheck my watch, and the route sign, and my phone, my pass, my watch, my bag, and this biscotti. Yikes, how old is that biscotti? And oh, here's my bus, and it's on time. And look, it's stopping. And I could get used to this. It's easier than you think, Cleveland. RTA, get ready to ride.
Our Better Business Bureau helped us avoid losing thousands of dollars to a loan modification scam.
My BBB helped me find a mechanic I can trust.
My BBB helped our company show support for high ethical standards in the communities we serve.
My BBB helped boost my company's online presence and brought in new customers.
Find out what your BBB can do for you at www.bbb.org.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. A lot has happened in Cleveland over the last few weeks, and here are a few top stories in case you missed it. Mayor Frank Jackson gave his 10th State of the City address at Cleveland Public Auditorium in front of an audience of 1,000 people. Chairperson and CEO of KeyCorp, Beth Mooney, was a facilitator of the event this year, having a conversation-style interview with Mayor Jackson, who spoke about many key topics, including the city's financial conditions, economic development, safety and public health, education, and the need to increase opportunities for residents to participate in our city's economic prosperity. To catch the Mayor's State of the City in its entirety, TV20 has you covered. Check out our TV20 YouTube channel or visit our blog, tv20cleveland.com. The Black History Month closing ceremony was held in the City Hall Rotunda. African Americans from our community who have made an impact in Cleveland were honored at the event, including a tribute to the late Stephanie Tubbs Jones.
Cleveland is in great hands because we know that we are. These may be challenging times, but we will come together, we will put aside our differences, we will strengthen the things that we have in common, and we will do what we need to do to make this city a better place, a greater place, a more equitable place for all of us.
When I got started years ago, Stephanie was one of the people that said to me, toughen your skin and don't turn around. So I'm following her lead, and we're honored to be here in her memory today.
She was full of energy. She loved cases, and when somebody who didn't want to try a case, she'd grab that fellow and say, give it to me, and she'd run upstairs and try it. And somebody would say, that can't be won. Oh, yes, it can. And she'd come down and throw that file back at you and say, guilty, and walk right by. You know, she could win. She had great enthusiasm as a prosecutor, as a judge, and as a congresswoman. We were lucky to have her.
The United Way of Greater Cleveland hosted their annual meeting at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel. United Way representatives and community leaders highlighted their work to build a healthy community for adults and children, and also unveiled the campaign results of 2014.
When we were looking at developing the Cleveland plan to reform education so that our children had quality education, United Way was there. When we're looking at the programming and the need for help and program, United Way is there. When we were looking at passing a levy to ensure that we could finance the reform, United Way was there.
For even as we hit unimagined heights, the majority of CMSD students are still considered to be economically disadvantaged. And income does have an impact on graduation rate. But because we live united, a program at John Adams High School is doing more than changing some lives, it's saving them. It is saving them by exposing them to a college environment and giving them not just hopes and dreams, but a clear path to graduation and a plan to get into college.
Cuyahoga County Executive Armand Budish and co-chairman of the 2015-2016 campaign touched on what we as a city can do to continually be involved in the ongoing effort.
We're going to make sure that we're providing for those who need help. That's what counties were originally created to do. The big change that you're going to see is that those two things, economic development, job creation, human services, go together. They're part and parcel of the same thing. When somebody needs help, we need to provide that help. We need to make sure that if they're hungry, they get food.
Every contribution to United Way of Greater Cleveland is an act of volunteerism. It has been said that nobody can do everything, but everyone can do something. Spirit infuses our work and our community with every life we touch. Thank you for your volunteerism in 2014, and thank you for your volunteerism in 2015. This is what happens when we live united.
To see the full United Way annual meeting, stay tuned to TV20. Just check our schedule for times. The Cleveland Auto Show was back again at the IX Center. Car enthusiasts had a chance to check out the latest in automotive design. A lot of great cars were unveiled at this year's show, from the Alfa Romeo making its first Cleveland Auto Show appearance since the early 80s, to your more fuel-efficient models, as well as classic cars. But one of the most popular car models at this year's auto show were pickup trucks and SUVs.
Well, the Rebel's really unique. It's an all-new price class in addition to our other 9 variations that we have in our product lineup for Ram. It's off-road inspired, if it's not obvious. It has not only the looks to match everything that you see on the exterior and the interior, but it also has capability too. So it's really cool.
And then the Limited.
The Limited is on the almost other end of the spectrum. So it's really like the uber premium luxury, if you will, for all trucks. Has lots of bright work, lots of chrome, has a totally unique personality from the Rebel itself, but it also has a slightly different look than what our mainstream trucks have as far as the front end graphics and some of the badging and exterior identification.
And you yourself helped design both, correct?
Yeah, I led the team that helped put together these vehicles from a design standpoint, so it's a great team that we have back in Auburn Hills at FCA headquarters there, and it was really awesome to work on both of these vehicles.
Now, as a Cleveland Institute of Art alum, do you keep Cleveland in mind when designing?
Yeah, in fact, we hire quite a few people on our staff from Cleveland, and actually some of those individuals actually contributed to the interior and exterior design of this vehicle. So yeah, we're a tight-knit group. We're a small group, but tight-knit group, and a lot of contributions from the Cleveland folks on this.
Tell us about this beautiful brand new pickup truck showcasing today at the auto show.
Yeah, we're great. We're really excited to be able to reveal the Z71 Trail Boss Edition here at the Cleveland Auto Show.
And I mean, this would be a beautiful ride for right here in Cleveland. Tell us about the features that it offers.
Well, it certainly would be. The Midwest is a huge truck market, and the Z71 Trail Boss not only allows for off-road capability, sometimes here in the Midwest you need capability on-road, particularly during the winter months. So this truck is the perfect from city streets to two-track trails. So.
Now, what makes this one different than the last one you unveiled with your pickups?
Well, certainly a couple different things. With the blacked out bow ties, it kind of adds just that personal preference look, a little more aggressive. We have a much more aggressive wheel on the vehicle with a Goodyear DuraTrack. It allows the customers to really customize a truck very quickly on the showroom floor. Certainly from an off-road perspective, the off-road assist step acts as a rocker as well, so it just gives the underbody a little more protection. Just overall, it's just a beautiful package and a beautiful look for an aggressive styling vehicle.
Mike, tell us about the latest in Ford. I know there's one particularly beautiful one right behind us.
Well, we've got an all-new 2016 Ford Explorer right behind us here. It's the best-selling SUV out there in the market. It's been out there since 1990, so it's 25 years of the Explorer. We're going to be bringing that to market later this year. It's built in our Chicago assembly plant, and it's just part of a bigger story for utilities. Utilities are moving, they're selling at a faster rate than most other vehicles segments in the world.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think people are looking for the utility of the vehicle. They can carry cargo, carry their family, carry others, you know, and there's different SUVs that we go from the Escape, smaller SUV, to the Escape, to the Edge, to the Explorer, and people like to have that utility, that chance to, you know, carry cargo but carry people.
There's a very important Cleveland connection between Ford and Cleveland this year.
Well, the Cleveland engine plant is one of the mainstays for us in our operation with the EcoBoost engine. We've got one right here. It's the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, and this is going to be produced at the Cleveland engine plant. We're just going to be announcing it this week here at the Cleveland Auto Show. We'll be producing that. It'll be in the Explorer. Then we're also going to have a 2-liter EcoBoost engine, and that will be in the Ford Edge. So great news. We've got 1,300 employees at the Cleveland engine plant, 6,000 in the state of Ohio. So it really is a home market for us.
To find the next car you want to take home, visit clevelandautoshow.com. EarthFest is the longest-running Earth Day celebration in the nation and is also Ohio's largest environmental education event. This year, it will be on Sunday, April 19th at the Berea Fairgrounds. The Earth Day Coalition has partnered with Mayor Jackson's Sustainable Cleveland 2019 initiative for the event and will celebrate the Year of Clean Water. You don't want to miss this event that is fun and educational for the whole family. For more information, visit their website, earthdaycoalition.org. Summer is only a few months away, which means the planning process has begun in University Circle for the annual Parade the Circle and Wade Oval Wednesdays. If you're a food vendor or if you'd like to have your band perform at either event, you can pick up an application at University Circle's main office located at 10831 Magnolia Drive, or go to their website, universitycircle.org. The deadline to apply is April 30th. Spring has officially arrived and there are plenty of activities and events to enjoy. And here is what's going on in Cleveland. Recently, we celebrated Downtown Cleveland Restaurant Week, and TV20 had a chance to check out a few of the participating spaces. We're showing them to you in a 3-part series, and this week is reporter Christian Patterson at Red the Steakhouse.
It's Restaurant Week in Cleveland, and the next stop on our journey around downtown Cleveland is Red the Steakhouse, and I'm here with the executive chef, Michael Tolosa. How you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. So just talk about this year's theme of Restaurant Week, comfort food. Touch on that.
Comfort food. I mean, steaks are comfort food. You know, for Restaurant Week, we're doing meatballs. You know, I mean, old school Italian comfort food, especially on a cold night. It's a beautiful thing. So that's what we're doing. Our dessert is a PB&J parfait. Growing up, PB&Js. I mean, what more did you want after school? You know, so that's kind of our little take on comfort food.
Okay, so what would you say are some of the most popular dishes served here at Red?
Steaks.
Okay. Steakhouse.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our ribeyes, prime cab ribeyes, out of this world. For us, it's not really about playing with the food. It's just sourcing great product.
Okay.
So we try to get the best of the best, and that's what we try to do. We don't try to dress it up. You want a great steak, we're just going to give you a great steak.
Well, that's off your TV20 Weekly News Wrap-Up, where you get the whole story. I'm Leah Haslage. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the bottom line up front with City of Cleveland Media Relations Director Dan Williams.
Let me introduce you to my city, my home, my Cleveland. I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna. I was raised in neighborhoods full of makers, doers, people that live and breathe for our city, rising each morning not just to survive, but to thrive. Clevelanders push each other to make more out of our city than people outside perceive. We're creating a place to make entrepreneurs, hard workers, families, philanthropists, world-class chefs, healthcare leaders, athletes, and believers. We built a city that we're proud of, and now it's time to enjoy it. Those who left are coming back, hearing the call of a city who's ready to welcome them with open arms, no matter where they were. And what brings people back? There's a spirit here you can't easily forget. It's not just home, it's excitement. It's a new adventure. You can see it in the lake, the parks, the arts, the music, the food. Oh, the food. People from all around are taking notice, mentioning us as a culinary destination amongst some of the greatest in the world. But I'm not surprised. This place, it's a treasure. Cleveland is a place where we could drink to great nights, stand in ovation, and cheer proudly for our teams. There's no place like it. We want our visitors surprised when they arrive and eager to come back. Don't just go home and tell your friends Cleveland rocks. Tell them we play, we dance, we work, we drive, we learn, we cook, we love. We love Cleveland, and you'll love it too. Like I said, this is where I was made, And things that are made here are built to last.
Hello, I'm Dan Williams, the Media Relations Director for the City of Cleveland, and this is the bottom line up front. In this edition of Bluff, I will provide you an update on the city's road repair and resurfacing plan. Last week I spoke to you about some of the specifics of the systematic road repair and resurfacing plan. The city's implemented a systematic methodology that provides 4 to 6 work crews 24 hours a day from Monday through Friday, an 8-hour shift on Saturdays across every district in order to evenly cover all 292 subsections of the city during the month of March. This week, the numbers of crews has nearly doubled from last week and are conducting pothole repairs with 6 hot patch crews, 2 cold patch crews, 2 Durapatch crews, 2 pothole killer crews. This is up from a total of 8 crews last week to 12 crews this week. Moving ahead, in April, the city will broaden our systematic efforts by increasing to 8 to 12 patching crews, 2 Durapatch crews, and 2 pothole killer crews. We continue the systematic efforts by dividing the work in the 6 districts into 292 subsections, then systematically make repairs across the entire city. In May, we will increase our efforts to 8 to 10 hot asphalt crews, 2 Durapatch, 2 pothole killer crews, and we begin the road resurfacing projects with 1 resurfacing crew and 1 crack sealing crew. From June through the end of August, the city will maintain 4 hot asphalt crews, 2 Durapatch crews, 2 road surfacing crews, and 3 crack sealing crews. In all, this year, the city will expend $57.9 million in road repair and resurfacing with a combination of NOACA street resurfacing projects for over $14 million, Issue 1 construction for over $37 million, and $6.4 million, that's $2 million more than previous years, of city-funded road projects, along with a combination of other smaller funded road projects. The bottom line, we are starting earlier this year to attack potholes. We're expending over $57.9 million combined with the $6.4 from the city and more than $51.5 million NOACA and Issue 1 funded projects. Using this systemic approach to attack the worst roads first while being actively involved in all 6 districts throughout the spring and summer allows the city to ensure equity throughout the city on road resurfacing and repairs, as well as more durable pothole and road repair solutions. I'm Dan Williams, and this has been the Bottom Line Up Front.